I'm George Belliveau, and I'm a professor here at the University of British Columbia, and the role that I have in Contact Unload is as the director and as one of the actors. So the theater piece, in many ways, was a vehicle, a device in some ways to tell that story. And it was very much of a collaborative process where we invited veterans to share their stories with us.
I came home with a lot of anger. I hated being home, and I just wanted to be back overseas. Going through the VTP allowed me to understand where some of that came from and understand that it's okay to be angry. And it helped me actually connect again with my fiance, who's now my wife. We've been recently married.
So Contact Unload is a joint partnership between the Veterans Transition Program, which Marv Westwood and others have been instrumental in developing. And Contact Unload was also a partnership with Foster Eastman in bringing the visual art and theater together. And again, the goal of these projects are about men's health.
I'm Marvin Westwood, and I'm one of the developers of the Veterans Transition Program here at UBC. I'm a co-director along with George Belliveau on the Man Art Action Program. Veterans who've returned to Canada from experiences overseas, and they have been through what's called the Veterans Transition Program because they had an operational stress injury. Then they are prepared to take their story forward to educate the other community, to let them in on what are the experiences or what happens to veterans serving overseas when they return home. What are the challenges that they meet? All the performers in this show are also giving service, another kind of service. They served their country when they joined the military, but they're also now in service again, and they're in service by virtue of the fact that they're educating the Canadian public about the bigger picture and the more broader experiences.
I can be of service again to others, to my brothers in arms. I went into the Veterans Transition Program after 10 years in the military. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't holding on to any baggage, and heard about the program, became part of it, saw the amazing success. We're into this play because this brings it brings light to those who are suffering, who can get therapy, who can get help.
It's not real.
Hope you like this fucking flight.
Afghanistan was real. When I'm here,
Load him in.
just fucking dead inside.
Participating in the VTP saved my life, literally. Without it, I wouldn't have hope. And that hope is something that saved my life.
I've had the pleasure as a clinician of watching soldiers change firsthand as they go through the program, and we see them move from a place of isolation, shut down, self-medicating, to coming back to life, springing back into community, purpose, family, and it's kind of like a light bulb goes off. And I would say the soul is repaired in a lot of the work that happens in the Veterans Transition Network. One of the ways that this educates is by actually engaging the public in a way they can't really look away, because we're bringing all the emotional content online. And that's simply in a way that you're not going to get through an interview, through a published article, or through kind of a private charity behind the scenes effect. So when you're feeling something, chances are you're going to be learning, in a very real way.
My name is Mike Waterman. I'm an actor and a teacher. I've been working with the guys on this project since rehearsals began for the Granville Island show of Contact Unload.
My name is Foster Eastman, and I'm the artistic director behind the Lest We Forget Canada mural and the Veterans Tribute Pole. The mural is made up of 162 canvas panels representing the Canadians killed. The images reflect the sacrifices made by families and friends of those lost to war. The mural was featured at National Day of Honor, at the Canadian War Museum, and also in Canada House, Trafalgar Square. The Veterans Tribute Pole was part of the Man Art Action Project. We explored First Nations culture for healing. Master carver Holacton from the Squamish Nation worked with veterans to help carve this pole out of 2 caskets.
For it is to help bring the people together, share their stories, and also be able to heal from that.
The tribute pole is now standing tall in Canada House, and we're very proud that Prince Harry was there to support us.
One of the major things that drew me to the program was that unfortunately one of my young soldiers, a year after we got back, he committed suicide. The big thing was it helped me unload a lot of the stresses. That was to get the message out. Biggest one for me was seeing the impact it had for His Royal Highness Prince Harry when he saw the production.
The goal of this play was it was men helping men. I think when we took it overseas, when we went to London, I think it was to say, Canada is doing some pretty special things with veterans. What are other countries doing?
It was so great to see something so important gain an international stage and attention. And we were so proud to represent Canada in England and have His Royal Highness Prince Harry also view and attend our performance and give us acknowledgement that he believes in what we're doing is a good thing. The only way to work through these stories is as a team, and that's something the Canadian Forces has taught us to do, is go through it as a team. Everything we do, we don't do by ourselves, we do with a partner. And so even when we're in the hardest times, you just know you have your team members to rely on for support, and that's how we get through this every day.
Not one man more!
When I perform it now, I still feel some of those emotions, but they don't take control of me. I think an opportunity going into the next venue is that we'll be able to hopefully get in front of some employers and job creators out there and help educate them on what it might be like to hire veterans and see how emotionally competent veterans can be after going through a program like the Veterans Transition Program.
The souls of the fallen are leaving and rising to heaven. They will need to be fighting their brethren no more. Here and alone, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms.
The approach that we took with the whole creative team, from Graham Lee, who helped with the script initially, some of the grad students that were co-creators on it right from the get-go, to Foster Eastman as one of the artists, to the counselors, all the voices mattered, but of course the voices of the veterans were at the heart of the work and central to the piece. This program is about unloading some of this baggage, some of the experiences that they've had trouble letting go of. And theater in many ways can do that. We can create the imagination, we can take the audience to Afghanistan. Is that you're in the same space, the audience is breathing the same air as the performers.